Study finds video games with sexualized content do not cause misogynistic attitudes or body image issues.
You shouldn't ever feel body issues comparing yourself to a fictional character. Like, if people
Yeah,
complain that like video games have like an unrealistic beauty standard for like women, it's like it's because it's fictional. It's like
yeah, of
how you
course.
not just the girls, but the guys. It's like most of them
Yeah,
they're like jacked to fuckery,
yeah, they're like ripped as muscly, huge dudes. I know, exactly.
warrior to the gills.
But it's supposed to be. It's kind of the point of it. Is it's like it's over the top and yeah, like you said, fictional. If anything, you should be going after movies. Like, oh, you put a hot chick in the movie. That's wrong. But it's also
Yeah,
that's what sells, man. People like looking at hot chicks. Is that so hard to understand? Like, yeah.
but I think that's what they're trying to change.
Well, yeah, but then I suppose, but then this is kind of saying that it turns out that you don't need to change it because sexualizing in video games does nothing to people's attitudes or behavior.
Heaven forbids the average person would be like, "This is a video game."
Well, look at Lara Croft here. Like, how does that?
Square titties.
Yeah, like how does that? How would that do anything to you? Like, it's just fucking pixels. It's like so ridiculous. Of course, the results came out this way. You know, it was so obvious to anyone. It's just again. So what does it say here? Yeah, they asked the question: does sexualization in video games harm players, etc.? Yeah, and this is after. Do you know who
This
Anita
I know
Sarkeesian is?
I know who Sarkeesian is.
Yeah, right. So she did Feminist Frequency was her channel. Who basically just went after video games and caused a lot of this stuff. Was she responsible for game? No, that was Zoe Quinn, wasn't it? Gamergate,
Yeah,
but Anita
Five Guys
Sarkeesian
Burger
was
Fries.
yeah, and so but then like yeah, so she started this kind of thing that sexualized content causes mental health and body image issues. But then that's I mean again, when gamers is a majority male, I don't know how it's going to cause body image issues like for women. You know, I mean, maybe it could cause the guys to only want to date digital women, like you, you know, like women that don't look realistic. That's what they want. But
Wife comes home and she's just like, "Please make love to me, Walter." It's like, "No." And all he does is he just jacks it to fucking PlayStation 1 game
hmm,
Lara Croft on
he's
his phone.
like, sorry, you don't have square titties and green hair.
And then it's just like, "I can't handle this." Lara Croft could handle this.
Hmm,
You are nothing. You are barren. You can offer nothing in my life that will make it any better. But she could. But
hmm.
she's not real.
So So yeah, it makes total sense, right? So they're saying sexualized content does not cause well sexism or anything like that, and that follows on from this other thing here, another study done by Christopher Ferguson that basically debunked the claim that violent video games inspire violent behavior. That turns out not to be true either. So all of the
But
things sort of levy at video gaming just turn out not to be true.
well, that's the thing. That's been a meme that's been around for donkey's years. Fight like with the first couple of GTAs and stuff. It's like, oh, do or Mortal Kombat even. It's just
Mm,
like, do violent games make people violent? It's like, no, because there's a clear distinction that it's a fucking fictional world.
yeah, 100%. Yeah, exactly. It's a game. I mean, maybe it's possible that the reverse is true. That people who want to commit violence are more likely to play violent video games.
Well,
Sure, that makes
there
sense, but
was an incident I think where um I think it was for one of the Manhunt games,
yeah,
and
for
like
sure, it was
one of
banned.
one one of the kid there was like a kid who recreated a murder scene in it, like killed someone, I think killed his mate. And it's just like that didn't make him fucked up and violent. He was unhinged to begin with. You can't just be like, oh, he played a video game and that's what set him off. No.
Yeah. So, yeah, exactly. I mean, that's it. It's only one thing, and you know, a lot of the time these people, they go on these crazy killing sprees and whatever and stuff, and then they'll go like, oh, it's because he played video games. But then you like look into his home life, and like he's like beaten by his parents and like had no friends and like all this other shit, and you're like, you don't think maybe those ones contributed like a little bit more, maybe?
You don't think it was his stepdad drinking a little bit too much after 4 p.m. and giving him a couple of lashes with the belt? Nah, it's the
Hmm.
video game that made him violent.
Yeah. And now, oh look, here you go.
Oh,
It's your favorite game.
you should really play it if you want it.
To see
Want a good
a
JRPG? Yeah,
sexy bunny girl.
it's not the only costume she gets.
Oh, great. Okay, so anyway, it says here that the study they've done here, then it was a meta-analysis of 18 other studies that were measuring exposing subjects to video games and with or without sexualized content, and they're measuring like their aggression towards women, their kind of sexist kind of attitudes, and then 10 of them measured like depression, body image, anxiety, and all those kind of things too. And so a meta-analysis is when you bring together multiple different studies and sort of make an overview. And so essentially it came out that yes, as I think most people have come to accept that there's no relationship between violent video games and aggression, violent video games. But oh, sorry, no, I'm reading the wrong part. They're saying that they've already come to agree that that wasn't true. So then now they want to see if the sexism stuff isn't true. And so I have the study here actually, and I'm just gonna do this a little bit. I'm just gonna adjust it on. Yeah, so I got the study here actually, and essentially in the abstract here, I don't really want to go into it too much. It'll take forever, but when you look at the stats here, it says like results revealed that sexualization in games was neither related to well-being, body dissatisfaction at R equals 0.08. which is really low. I mean, a decent effect size is at least 0.3 maybe. Like this is under 0.1, that's nothing. And then the p-value is 0.66, which means it's non-significant. I mean, it's getting close to a significant effect size, but it's, yeah, either way, that's tiny. That's barely any effect at all. And then it's the same for sexism and misogyny, which is even lower than 0.01 or whatever. And yeah, also non-significant. So basically, yeah, the study sort of confirms exactly as it appears commonly in other realms of media effects. The evidence is weak that sexualized games influence player attitudes and behavior. So yeah, that's the main thing. I recommend going and reading the study to anyone who's interested. But yeah, basically it says here that overall that it seems this was just like a moral panic. You know, they've done this before with rock music. They used to say that it was the devil and all that kind of stuff. They even went after Dungeons and Dragons, saying that it was like involved satanic cult worship and all this shit. So yeah, it's just a moral panic. Everyone's just looking for some reason to bash other people, you know.
Hey, Huck, after this, would you be able to bring up a video on YouTube for me?
What's that? What video is that?
Oh, it's a Dragon Quest one, but it's in line with mass sexism.
Okay, cool. Yeah, sure. That'll cap off our argument perfectly, won't it?
Yeah.
So blah blah blah. So it doesn't mean they can't argue for better representation of females, whatever. Yeah, man, I have no problem with playing as a chick in video game. Even Tifa here is looking pretty good, so happy with that. Anything else here? Okay, basically they're just saying most studies are just poorly designed. Yeah, so they say here that it's probably more likely it's social media that causes these problems, which, I'm not sure about either. Hard to know. That seems, again, social media seems to be the next thing that they're going after. And again, that could be a moral panic too. Everything else turns out to be, so Who knows?
But the thing is, it's not so much the social media that's the problem. It's the content that people are putting out.
Yeah, that's true. What you choose to absorb, you know?
Yeah.
And um yeah, so and of course, yeah, people have claimed heaps of people have tried to get games censored and things like that. And the fact that well, H games are pretty much banned from any mainstream platform. They've never been able to have
Oh,
sex kind of games in mainstream.
you can get H games on Steam.
Yeah, but it wasn't until Steam came out that there was basically nowhere for them.
Mm,
Yeah, so again, you don't get any on PlayStation or Xbox or anything like that. Anything else here before we?
Oh, of course, they had to put in the Armika butt slap into it.
Oh yeah. Oh okay. Is that a taunt or something?
It's part of her
Yeah.
critical art,
Oh yeah.
and
Yeah. Street Fighter
so what they
Five.
what they did is they just panned the camera upwards so you can't see her do it.
Mm, really? That's
Yeah.
kind of weird. Well, it says here too that in a live demonstration of Dead or Alive 6, they had to cut the live stream because of the real life jiggling. Hmm. Well, I mean, they even like, they modified Tifa in the new game. She, well, now she actually has a sports bra on underneath her
Mm.
tank top, and they definitely, made her tits way smaller. I mean, she still looks great, but yeah. Um, so that's the problem is that all of this,
Bro, what is that face?
yeah, I don't know.
Not Leon's, the girl behind him.
Yeah. Well, look, 2005. But but that's the thing. That's the problem is that all of the censorship stuff has actually already happened, but then there's no evidence to support it actually being good or doing anything helpful at all. Oh, on that note, Bayonetta 3 is coming out.
Yeah.
Pretty keen.
I still need to play 2. Get it on the Switch.
It's a Switch exclusive, isn't it?
Oh, I thought it was a Wii U exclusive.
Yeah, sorry, that's what it was. That's right. What's this game? Damn. Okay. Never played that one. Tales of Arise. Okay. This just makes me think of Final Fantasy X too. But yeah, all right. So that sort of wraps up the idea. Does looks like the sexism thing in gaming's been kind of debunked.